1111.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. We begin our service with Hinei Ma Tov, in which we exclaim how wonderful it is to be together. Hinei Ma Tov, u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. How good it is, how sweet it is together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hinei ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Shalom aleichem, salam aleikum. Shalom aleichem, salam aleikum. Shalom aleichem, salam aleikum. Shalom aleichem, salam aleikum. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hinei ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad.
We enter the sanctuary to welcome Shabbat. Within these walls, we sit surrounded by numberless generations. Our ancestors built the synagogue as a visible sign of God's presence in their midst. Throughout our long history and our endless wanderings, it has endured. It's a beacon of truth, love, and justice for all humanity. Its presence guided our ancestors to lives of righteousness, holding up to them a vision of their truest selves. Now we, in our turn, come into the sanctuary to affirm the sacredness of our lives. May we enter this place in peace. May holiness wrap around us as we cross its threshold. Weariness, doubt, the flaws within our human hearts, the harshness of the weak, let these drop away at the door. In the brightness of Shabbat, let shalom, let peace settle upon us as we lift our hearts in prayer when we continue with our candlelight blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam
For those who are able, we rise together for Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'b'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'asei v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'ei kodesh seichel yitziat Mitzrayim kivanu bacharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim b'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava u'b'ratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Amen.
Not too much. Please be seated. There are days when we seek things for ourselves and measure failure, but what do we not gain? On Shabbat, we seek not to acquire, but to share. There are days when we exploit nature as if we're a horn of plenty that can never be exhausted. On Shabbat, we stand and wonder before the mystery of creation. There are days when we act as if we care nothing for the rights of others. On Shabbat, we remember that justice is our duty, for nothing right for those for others. So we embrace Shabbat. It's a day of rest, day of wonder, a day of peace. And we continue with Lecha Dodi.
Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'diburcha tishmianu el hamiyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad v'shem ultiferet v'litila. Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu b'nei el-chakim mekor habracha merosh mikedem nesucha sof ma'aseh v'machshavat techila. Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri ki ba'orech kumi ori shir daberi kevod Adonai alayich nigla. Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela.
We rise together to greet the Sabbath Queen.
Bovi v'shalom ateret malakam besimcha u'tzol atochem לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לחנוני לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
Teach me, O God, a blessing, a prayer, the mystery of a withered leaf, unripened fruits so fair, on the freedom to see, to sense, to breathe, to know, to hope, and to despair. Teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise, as each morning and night you renew your days, lest my day be today as the one before. Lest routine set my ways, and we continue with our Chetzi Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתחדש שמי רבה, בעלמא תברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחי דכל בית ישראל. בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב, באמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך, לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה יתברך. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם, וינשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה. בריחו לאלה מן כל מחתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירן בעלמה, ואמרו אמן.
Paul, are you ready?
I'm ready.
You sure?
Sure.
Canner, you ready?
Absolutely.
Positive?
100%.
You guys all out there, you guys ready to pray?
Ready?
I think we are. Let's rise together. Let's do this.
Are we ready to pray? Yes, we're ready to pray. Are we ready to pray? Yes, we're ready to pray. Are we ready to pray? Yes, we're ready to pray. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMorach Leolam Vaed. Are we ready to pray? Yes, we're ready to pray. Are we ready to pray? Yes, we're ready to pray. Are we ready to pray? Yes, we're ready to pray. Let's pray. Okay.
I think we're good. Please be seated. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, for whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way in which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise you, Adonai, our God, for whom the evening flows.
Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Morei yom balayla, golel or mipnei choshech, golel or mipnei choshech, mechoshech mipnei or. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into light, roll into dark. Night becomes day, Ahavat Olam. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amecha Ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu B'shochbeinu uvkumeinu Nasiach bechukecha Benismach b'divrei Toratecha U'b'mitzvotecha Leolam va'ed Ki הם חיינו באורך ימינו ובהם נהגה יומם ולילה ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד 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 ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. We continue before Milchamocha, in which we talk about how it's important that we join together and pass to freedom as one holy people. Standing on the potted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught. Before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it's eternally Egypt. That there's a better place, a promised land, and the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there's no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together, singing ya ya da da ya da 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 ya da ya da da ya da ya da da ya da da ya da ya da ya ya da da ya da. Moshe uMiriam uBnei Israel lecha anu shira b'simcha rabba ve'anu chulam ya ya da da ya da ya da ya ya da da ya da ya da da ya da da ya da ya da ya ya da da ya da. Join us for Micha Mocha. Micha Mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha Mocha nedar ba'kodesh, Micha Mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha Mocha nedar ba'kodesh. Nora tehilot osei pele, Nora tehilot osei pele, Adonai meloch leolam ba'ed, malchutecha ra'u banecha bokei hayam lifnei Moshe uMiriam, ze Eli anu ve'amru, ze Eli anu ve'amru, Adonai meloch leolam ba'ed. Yai da 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 da. Yai da 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 da. Yai da 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 da. Yai da 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 da.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that when we lay down in peace and rises up waiting to do your will, we continue with Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, Mehamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, Behamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, V'hamidenu shomreinu lechayim.
We are a people in whom the past endures, with whom the present is inconceivable, without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. We continue with Vishamru.
Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, la'asot et HaShabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, and rebuild a weakened will. We rise together for tefillah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah, האל הגדול הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לפני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים בעל גבורות, ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות מתים. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. And we continue. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace. And give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. Make contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul. May the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praise you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim le'olam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim le'olam. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה משלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם.
We take a few moments for silent prayer.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל.
At this moment in our service, we take time to think of those in our community, those our friends, those our neighbors who need a body of healing or spirit. On the Shabbat, we especially think of Rose Anderson, Linda Applebaum, Cindy Bailey, Katie Bates, Harold Seitlin, Deborah Chargois, Sunita Costa or Reed Cohen, Helene Davidson, Hannah Lillian Fox, Elaine Gross, Bart Colber, Elizabeth Morgan, Beth Scher, Christine St. Charles, Mitch Schneiderkraut, Elena Stern, Adam Terrell, Jesse Weisberg, Elisa Rosemore Whitehead, Edgar Zimmerman, Keith Zimmerman, Josie Hatfield, and Jan Milet. We continue with our Misha Berach, our prayer for healing.
Of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
All right, kiddos at home watching, it's my favorite Shabbat of the month because I get to tell a story. You better take notes. It's going to be on the test, I promise. Just kidding. I hope Paul laughed at that one.
I did.
Thank you, Paul. 3 weeks, we will celebrate Purim. It's Thursday night, I believe, right? It's going to be pandemic in Persia. It's going to be funny, hysterical. I know Cantor's working very hard on it. He's smiling. I hope that's a yes. But anyway, since this is our family Shabbat, this is the story that we're going to read about. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. I sing as I work on a mask. What a happy song, my mother says, a happy song for a happy time. It's almost the 14th of the Hebrew month of Adar, and we are getting ready for the Jewish holiday of Purim. Purim is a joyous holiday. We dress up in costumes, masks, read about Esther and how she saved the Jewish people. I cut out holes for the eyes in my mask as I try to think of what else to add. I wonder, why do I wear masks on Purim? There's Mordechai, King Ahasuerus. I slip my unfinished mask over my face. Who are you? My father asked. I am Esther, I say. My mother plops a floppy hat on a father's head. He laughs and says, one must be your cousin, Mordechai. My sisters and brother put on their masks too. My brother is King Ahasuerus. He crosses his arms and pretends to glare at us. Line up, he demands. I will choose a new queen. My sisters and I stay close together and giggle. I choose you, says my brother, the king. He points at me. Okay, I will be queen, I say. I didn't say that Mordecai is my cousin. I did not say that I am Jewish and that my Hebrew name is Hadassah. Those secrets are the real Queen Esther, kept long ago. When Esther didn't tell the king about herself, she was hiding who she really was. That was like wearing a mask. Maybe this is why we wear masks on Purim, I think, as I add a veil to my mask to remind me of Purim's secrets. Who knows the story of Purim? My grandfather asked. I do, I say. I unrolled the scroll that I made at religious school. Long ago in Shushan, Persia, I read, King Ahasuerus, a silly king who partied all the time, banished his queen because she would not listen to him. He held a contest to find a new queen. Mordecai, a Jewish man, told his cousin Esther to enter the contest. He told her not to tell the king that she was Jewish because some people in Persia did not like Jews. Esther was very beautiful, and King Ahasuerus chose her to be queen. The king's chief advisor was an evil man named Haman. My grandfather yells, Haman wanted everyone to bow down him. I continue. Boo, boo, my grandfather shouts again. He shouts every time he hears Haman's name. I keep on reading. Mordecai and other Jews refused to bow down. This made Haman angry. Haman got the king's permission to hurt all the Jews in Persia. He even built special gallows just to kill Mordecai. To stop Haman and his plan, Mordecai asked Esther to tell the king that she was Jewish and that Haman was trying to kill her and all of her people. There was a rule that queen could not go to the king unless he called her. If she did, she would be hurt. Even though she was afraid, Esther went to tell the king. After that, many clans came out differently. King Ahasuerus loved Esther so much that he listened to her. Haman had a say to feel, and Mordecai, he became the king's chief advisor. The end. Why were you yelling, my brother asked grandfather. Whenever we hear the name Haman, we blot it out with noise. My grandfather answers, boo, boo, my brother yells. I think I will add jingly bells to my mask to remind me of Purim noises. My grandmother drops spoonfully poppy seed and honey of small circles of pastry. My brother folds them into a triangle-shaped pockets. I can't wait until they're baked, my sisters say. I know why. They're called hummintoshins. Why are they hummintoshins? They are the same shape as the hat Haman wore, grandmother answers. Gobbling them up is another way of blotting out his name. Grandfather adds with a smile and more calories. Oh, today we'll be merry, merry, and nosh some hummintashen, I sing. The kitchen smells like Purim as we share the first batch that comes out of the oven. I think I will add smiling lips to my mask to remind me of my Purim hummintashen. Every Purim, my grandmother says, let's make shalach manot, gift baskets. So we do. We make baskets out of paper, plates, stripes of construction paper. We decorate them with sparkling sequins and curly ribbons and fill them with hummintoshins, candy, and fruit. Then we visit all of our friends. Hag Sameach, happy holiday, we say, handing them a basket as they come to the door. I think I will add curly ribbons to my mask to remind me of Purim Shalach Manot. It's time for the Purim Carnival, my father says. On Sunday afternoon, my sisters are proud that they are old enough to work at the carnival, and a ton of work for us at Temple Emanu-El. I get to play games. My favorite is Esther's pool. I throw a fishing line behind the curtain to pretend to fish, and we get a special prize. And the best part is the Purim parade. We watch Ahasuerus stride along with the scepter, dancing like Queen Esther, and Haman pulls a rolling horse and Mordecai riding it. I stand with my family and watch as the story of Purim marches by. I think I will finish my mask by adding red cheeks to remind me of Purim happiness. On the evening before the 14th of Adar, we put our costumes and we head to synagogue, and as we enter, my father hands me some money to place in a basket. On Purim, remember to give tzedakah to the poor, he tells me. Everyone is in costume. I see clowns, a lot of Purim characters. Our rabbi is dressed like a Hummentopchen. Maybe we should wear a mask just because it's so much fun. Everyone holds a noisemaker called a grogger. We sit and listen as our rabbi chants the story, more like a cantor, from a special scroll called the Megillah. He chants in Hebrew, but still recognizes the name of Hebrew. Boo, boo, I shout. The bells on my mask jangle. We all shout. We shake our groggers and stamp our feet. We try to blot out the name of Haman. Purim is a strange and funny holiday. Where is God in the Purim story? I asked my father. He is hidden in the faith of Mordecai and Esther and in their courage to do the right thing, my father says. Suddenly I know why we wear masks on Purim. We were masked for the secrets and fun and happiness of Purim, but also we were masked to remind us that even though we don't hear God's name, God is a hidden part of the Purim story. We were masked to remind us that even though we don't see God, God is a hidden part of our lives too. And when Purim is over, God is always there for us. As we soon welcome the month of Adar, it's a happy month. It's okay to smile, it's okay to laugh, and let joyous and happy times certainly welcome us, even as we're still in this pandemic. We rise together for Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
When I first started 19 months ago, and I can't believe it, I was invited to attend an incredible lunch called Lunch with Hals. And for the most part, last year we met at a restaurant I believe called Seasons 52. And when we got to the restaurant, the heart of this restaurant experience was who was going to order the soup and salad with sandwich combo. But nevertheless, we engaged in incredible conversation, from Alabama football to political matters to what's going on with the world. And it became a fun part of the 12 o'clock time for Fridays. And sometimes we went to different restaurants, but still got to complain about Season 52, but that's part of the fun about this group. And when the pandemic hit, we had to cancel this lunch group, but we didn't stop meeting. Every Friday at noon, our Lunch with Hal group, we were able to bring in incredible speakers, from Senator Doug Jones to our mayor, to college football referees, and there's so many wonderful people that we've created a fabulous lunch and learn, while we're at our homes via Zoom. And it's a great day for all of the guys to see each other and reminisce about life and dealing with the pandemic. And it's a treat, even when I can log on at 12 o'clock and see all their faces. But even how great this Zoom lunch group has been. For those on this call, we know we've been missing one very important person. And that is Howard Koch, whose yahrzeit is tonight. And Julie and his kids and grandchildren, they are here with us to remember someone whom left us too soon. He was an incredible person. My first time here on the SPIMA, we had a bit of a sound issue. I heard a lot of complaints. And it was Howard who came to be and said, "Don't you worry about a thing." And for those who have been able to come to services during this pandemic and heard our sound system in person, that's because of you, Howard, and your tenacity and kindness to get this done. Every Friday when we have our lunch group, I wonder what you'd say about the conversation, the speakers. I have no doubt that we all miss your presence, we miss your smile, and we think of you often. We say your yahrzeit tonight, and we also say the names of those yahrzeits who are also on this Friday. And we think of Leroy Aarons, Max Alon, Patricia C. Bailey, Lillian Muriel Burchuk, Marvin J. Blyberg, Betty Ann Perlin Blumenthal, Mel Bruck, Bruce Castle, Isaac Eli Cohen, Lyman Cohn, Minna Louise Coleman, Lilia Crown, Thelma Cutler, Charlotte Elmitz, Florence Elsis and Louis S. Elsitz, Stanley M. Erdrich Sr., Alice Edelson, Charles Fetter, Robert Carafile, Francis Frozen, Sylvia Gandler, Edith Gawant, Rebecca Slive Gingold, Herman Goldberg, Gussie Goldstein, Edward Hiller, Maurice J. Ives, Harry O. Cantor, Suzanne Kirschberg, Beatrice E. Cohn, Howard Koch, Harvey Corman, Edka Cronenberg, Lou Lazarus, Edna Levine, Jacob Lipsitz, Natalie McFarlane, Nancy Mendelson, Ernest Munchkazang, Oliver Nassi, Violetta Newrith, Herman Needle, Rose Perlman, Bella Perlman, Morris Piha, George Rashley, Max Rittenbaum, Cecile Hillard Rodriguez, Joseph David Rosen, Leon Rosenthal, Rita Routman, Ben Rutstein, Marvin Silverstein, Carolyn Sloss, Sid Stanton, May Clara Wheel, BJ Winnick, Mary Voltag, Louis Wynn, and Irene Zavlovsky, and our heartfelt condolences in the recent passing of Barton Leaf, the husband of Priscilla Leaf, Sherwood Woody Cohen, husband of Pam, father of Stuart, Stacy, and Adam, James Witt, uncle of Lindsay Leibovitz, Angela Lichtenstein, wife of Lee, mother of Alan and Will, and daughter-in-law of Joyce and Joe, Gloria Sag, mother of Dr. Ken Sag, Scott Leader, son of Jerry and Shirley, and father of Jenny and Olivia, and brother of Hugh, Joyce Fox, dear friend of Linda Gutchin, Thomas Vernon Cal, brother of Mark Cohen's dear friend, Terry Cal.
Sheila and Paul Klein.
May all their memories forever be a blessing, and we rise united for our mourners Kaddish. Yikadal, Vikadash, Shemei Rabbah, Biomah, Divrach, Erote, Bamlich, Malchute, Bechayachon, Yomechon, Uvkaet, the Kol Beit Yisrael, Bagala, Uizman, Kari, V'yamru,
Amen.
Yehei, Shmei, Rabbah, Nevarach, Leolam, Olamei, Maya, Yitbarach, Yishabach, Yitbar, Yitromam, Nihit Naseh, Vita Dar, Vita Le, Vita Lal, Shemei Kutsha,
Barichu.
Le'ela, Minkol, Birchata, V'shirata, Tushachata, V'nechemata, Damin Ram, Bielma, V'yamru, Amen. Yehei, Shlama, Rabba, Min, Shemaya, V'chaim, Aleinu, V'yakol Yisrael, V'yamru, Amen. O say Shalom, V'yamromav, Huyas, say Shalom, Aleinu, V'yakol Yisrael, V'yamru, Amen.
O say Shalom, V'yamromav, Huyas,
conclude our service with a great, fun Adon Olam.
Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yetzir Nivra, Le'et Nasa, B'chefzo Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, Be'acharei Kichlot HaKol, Levado Yimloch Nora Adon Olam, Vehu Haya, Vehu Hove, Mehu Yeh B'tifara Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yetzir Nivra, Le'et Nasa, B'chefzo Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, Vehu Echad Ve'ein Sheni, Lehamshilo Lehachbira Adon Olam, Beli Reshit, Beli Tachlit, Melo Ha'oz Ve'hamizra Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yetzir Nivra, Le'et Nasa, B'chefzo Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, Vehu Eli, V'chai Goali, V'tzur Chevli, Be'et Zara Adon Olam, Vehu Nisi, Umanos Li, Menat Kosi, Be'yom Ekra Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yetzir Nivra, Le'et Nasa, B'chefzo Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, Beyado Afkid Ruchi, Be'et Tishan Be'ayra Adon Olam, Ve'im Ruchi Geviati, Adonai li Ve'lo Ira Adon Olam.
Good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos.